Live from Liverpool, we don't need to talk about ghosts with Kevin Eustace.
Greetings, listeners of the podcast. I sounded foreign then. Greetings, listeners of the podcast.
I thought it must sound like you were going to say, Greetings, Earthlings.
Greetings, Earthlings. It is I, Kevin Kuller, and Bekah Kuller, and we are here to give you we don't need to talk about ghosts, but we do need to talk about aliens.
No, we don't.
We could if you want. Do you want to move your feet so I can also put them up?
Not really.
So it's, of course, we don't need to talk about ghosts. It's Wednesday. It's your one we don't need to talk about. One extra episode. Hooray. It's the start of the one extra episode per week as opposed to two. Because next week, of course, on this day, we will release a dark
In a dark
house.
In a dark street, there was a Kevin doing a dark episode.
Oh, matron. And, of course, I just realised what I need to do this week as well. I need to, forgive that yawn there, I need to pre-record this week's episode.
Yes, you do.
I have to do that very soon. Because we're going to be away, aren't we?
We're not going to Scotland, though.
No, I don't do accents of where we're going.
Well, then why did you just randomly start the accent?
I don't
You
know,
can be
actually.
forgiven for thinking people might have thought, they're probably going to Scotland, given he's just burst into a Scottish accent.
Yeah, very true.
We're not going to Scotland.
Well, we're nearly going to Scotland.
Nearly going to Scotland.
We're going north.
Yeah, we're still not nearly going to Scotland.
Go north, life is peaceful there. We're going to Lake District, aren't we?
Yes, just south of the Lake District.
South of the Lake District, okay. Yes, Beatrix Potter Country, so we can look at all the wabbits and all the potteries and all the Beatrixes. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Be nice to actually go somewhere, won't it?
It will, yeah. We won't know what to do with ourselves.
No, I think we might explode.
I know.
So, and we've obviously the neighbours informed me that coincidentally that weekend somebody's looking after their cat.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What are you
yeah.
doing? Just taking it down to someone's?
They're taking it down to someone they work with, apparently, to make sure that it's okay.
Yeah.
Whilst they're going away as well, I believe. Coincidentally.
What a coincidence.
What a coincidence. So I thought what we talk about, Becca, what we chat the cud, or chew the cud, as cows say to each other, about is strange deaths.
Were you waiting for a reaction?
Ideally.
You said it then as if it was like, strange death!
Let me try that again.
As if it was something I was like going to be really excited about.
Okay, then let me try that again. Strange deaths.
Okay.
Strange deaths.
Okay.
No, give me better.
All right, strange death. All right, why don't I do it and you react?
Okay.
So what we're going to talk about on this, we don't need to talk about ghosts, Kevin,
Yeah.
is strange deaths.
Strange. Oh, amazing. I've been looking forward to this for so long.
No, you haven't, because you've only just found out what I've only just told you.
Well, that as it may be, Rebecca. Anyway.
Rebecca, me.
And these are coming straight from 14 Times, who have a section on strange deaths, because they, like us, are interested in all things weird, peculiar, and bizarro.
Fortier, as they say.
14, yeah, named after Charles Fort, who was a man interested in all things strange. Dead now. Anyway, so our first strange death that we will discuss.
Did Charles Fort die a strange death?
Yes, actually, no. No, he didn't. Well, I don't know how he died, actually. I wonder if it says at the start of the magazine.
Well, at the start of every magazine, how our founder died.
It does actually say why 14.
Yeah, but it doesn't say how he died, surely.
It might.
Not in every episode.
Oh no, it stopped saying white 14 as well.
What's it called? What's the magazine equivalent of
14
an episode?
times?
No, the magazine equivalent of an episode.
What?
I said it won't say in every episode. Edition.
Issue. Edition. Yeah.
Alright.
Edition. Or issue, yeah.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, this is 14 times issue 394.
Why is that coincidental?
It's not, is it? I don't know why I said the word coincidentally. I meant interestingly. I do that a lot.
394?
Yeah.
Goodness.
And we've got 394 things. Okay.
Things.
So here's the first strange death.
Okay.
What make you of this, Becca, with a B? You ready?
Yeah.
A man who was taking his rooster to a cockfight in India was killed when the bird slashed his throat with a blade attached to its claw. Saripali Chavanes friggin' hell. His name is Saripali Chanavenkateshwaram Rao. Saripali, 50, was declared dead on arrival at a hospital in the southern state of Andhra Pradesh. The cockfight went ahead even though the sport was outlawed in India in the 60s. What make you of that?
I'm not into people making animals fight.
Is she okay with his death?
Kind of, yeah.
What about the poor family of Sarapali Janavenkateshwaram Rao?
But I don't know if this would be in there because I suppose it's not that strange. But didn't someone recently again get killed? Like a rhino hunter got killed by the rhino he was killing.
Oh really?
So it with its like dying move, it just tussed him
yeah,
in the head.
No,
I know, and I get really pleased about that.
Yeah, me too. So sorry, Sarapali, we're not too arsed about your death.
It's like, I don't know, like people have like making animals fight. I'm just not into it. Like people
No, I'm not.
put dogs around cats, don't they?
What?
They like have dog fight. Like they'll put like angry dogs like with a cat. They'll corner a cat
Why?
because people are awful. People are horrible.
To scare the cat?
Yeah, like baiting, like to bait the dog. So the dog like goes apeshit and you think it's a form of entertainment.
You know, if someone done that to the neighbour's cat,
don't even.
I would nail them into a wall and leave them hanging. I really would. I'd come back, I wouldn't even feed them.
Absolutely destroy them.
Oh, what? Anyway, second strange
That's
death.
what when the neighbour's cat got dropped off by the charity. The
To
neighbour's
next
cat
door.
got it. Yeah, when they said that one area they had people going around with dogs baiting cats. She said that's why she wouldn't let one of the houses have it. And apparently this person got really funny with it. I was like, oh, you don't like where I live? And she's like, no, it's nothing to do with where you live. It's the fact that around that area people are baiting and I'm not putting a cat anywhere near
God,
it.
I tell you what, 2020, yeah.
Horrendous. I know. Why are people so awful?
I'm telling you, honestly,
Anyways.
there's at least 40% of the human race who I would absolutely not bat an eyelid if they were wiped out. And I'm not saying that just due to pandemic reasons. There's just some people, they bring nothing to the earth but absolute torment and horror. And they don't deserve breath.
I know. I think anyone who like harms an innocent creature, just like for entertainment, is
For
just,
entertainment.
ugh.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
Strange death 2. Former gas fitter James Petit, little guy, he's not. James Petit, 63, was found dead under a mountain of rubbish at his home in Erdington, Birmingham. Police broke into the property after being alerted by neighbours, but Mr Petit's body could not be recovered until council workers had taken away 3 flatbed trucks of material. A narrow staircase behind the front door was seen to be overflowing with papers, bottles and rubbish. 2 years before his death, Mr Petit had tripped on the cluttered stairs and fallen through a glass door. In quotations now. It was 10 times worse upstairs, said one worker. The police said it was too dangerous and unsafe to move the body. Mr Petit had lived at the property for 40 years, and neighbours recalled seeing the hoarder always well turned out, until he'd been seen getting into a Bentley a few weeks before his death. Here's another quote. The strange thing is that he always appeared well dressed, said one neighbour. You'd see him walking down the street with his dry cleaning. That always struck me, that he would get his clothes dry cleaned and then go back into that flat. I went in 25 years ago and there was no room to move. Another resident remarked, he was a very quiet man, but he had a good job. He would get taxis everywhere. So, former gas fitter James Petit.
that'll be me. That
Getting in and out of
being a
Bentleys.
hoarder. I'm naturally a hoarder. Aren't I?
Well, you get taxis everywhere.
I don't.
But that down's a Bone Island, that's not...
It's not. It's due to wanting a drink.
Oh, okay.
I don't get taxis everywhere.
You are a hoarder.
I am a hoarder.
You would literally...
I struggle to throw anything
out, like to the point where we got a box for the duvet and it's still under the stairs.
I know. I just can't do it. And I think we're so confined in this flat with space. If we had more space, I would fill it with just more junk.
Oh, yeah.
Like, every time I throw away a glass jar, I do it, like, mournfully, because I just think, what a waste. Like,
Mournfully. Yeah. What's that problem? It's a philosophical thing. Is it called the Hodgkin's Law or something? Where I think it applies to tasks that you do. Like, you will fill the allocated time you give yourself for a task. That will be the length of the task.
Okay, like, people say that about packing, don't they? Like, however long you give yourself to pack is how long it'll take.
Yeah, and there's a name for it. So, like, if you say, I'll have them shelves up in 2 hours, and you give yourself 2 hours, it'll take 2 hours.
Right,
if you say 4 hours, it will take 4 hours.
Right.
You'll spread out your tasks to fill the time you've allocated it.
Yeah.
But that is you with cardboard boxes and glass bottles.
Well, yeah, I just think everything. I think I do hate waste. Like, it really. So that's part of it. So, like, when we get a Chinese and it comes in those plastic tubs, I can't throw them away because it's just so wasteful. It's plastic. You know what I mean?
I hate
that.
We've got hundreds of them, and if you do anything in them, you wash them. But I end up doing the dishes, and there's nothing I hate more than washing plastic tubs. They're so greasy all the time and impossible to wash.
They're not impossible to wash.
They are. I'd sooner just set
I
fire to
can't bear the waste is the problem. So, like, I just won't throw I'd rather not throw anything away. And everything I always think, just in case, might need that. Yeah, that said, though, the amount of times when we've gone, you know what we could do with, and I've like pulled out the bag something really random and weird that works perfectly for the task in hand.
Yeah, it's very, very few and far between, aren't they, those times?
I know, it's so satisfying when it happens.
Honestly, it's like the only thing that this can come in useful for is if we either start our own Amazon service or open a Chinese restaurant.
I know, well, nah, the jars I'm keeping.
What about the jars? Yeah, for when we get bees.
No, I don't know. Just for when there's something
that fits in a jar.
Exactly.
No, you've done that back to front. You're meant to have the thing and then get the jar.
I don't know what to say.
Wow.
But I am a natural hoarder, though.
You are a natural hoarder.
When everything with the C word was starting and people were hoarding, I was thinking, I would if we had the space, like if we had a garage, I would naturally already have had a stockpile of food in there because I'm just so naturally. It would suit me down to the ground, not being a prepper.
Do you remember when the C word all started and you went out your way to make sure we had suitable amount of olives to last?
I got obsessed.
It's like the most middle class hoarding ever.
Obsessed with the olives. It's just because all our meals seemed like they were going to be bland if we didn't have access to olives.
I must get some olives.
Yeah,
sun-dried tomatoes.
Yeah, like if we were having pasta, like what's the point with our olives?
That was ridiculous. Anyway, strange death number 3.
Can I not read any?
Yeah, it's only a small one. Then you can have the next one.
All right.
Does that make you happy? Read out the dead.
Otherwise, why don't you just do it on your own if I'm not reading?
Because I need banter, don't I? I hate that word.
All about the banter bus.
All going 2 tickets to Banter Town, please. Shoot people who say banter.
I don't know why you hate the word so much. I don't mind the word that much.
You know why I hate it? Because it reminds me of one person that we used to work with, and he was the sort of dick.
We?
Yeah, he used to work with me too. And he was the sort of dick that, like, you know, he'd have like I don't know, he didn't have any of these things, but you know what I mean. He'd have like a flower that squirted water in his lapel, or like a dicky bow that would rotate and light up.
So a clown, an actual clown.
He'd have a whoopee cushion or something, or like he'd...
So again, an actual clown, that's what you mean. He wasn't an actual clown, was he? I mean, he was
no, but he thought that these things were genuinely funny, or he'd say like, oh, as the actress said to Bishop, oh, and everything he tried to turn into double entendre, and it just wasn't.
Double?
Double. What are you saying there?
Double?
Double entendre?
Double entendre?
No, double.
Okay.
I have no idea, actually. I think it's double. Anyway, so that's what we think about banter. Death number 3. Mother of 2, Ekaterina Nifikova, 27, of Krasnoyarska, Siberia, was killed by Alexei Yezebtrov, 35, who slashed her throat and then cooked her lungs and heart in his kitchen. He called his landlady to tell her what he'd done, and when the medics arrived at the flat, he said, "There's a heart cooking on the stove." Under questioning, Yezebtrov said, "I told her I would eat her heart, so I did."
Wow.
I'm not too sure that fits under strange deaths. That's just murder.
Yeah, it's just out-and-out murder, yeah.
Out-and-out murder, and cannibalism, would you eat human
really
being?
A form of entertainment, that one, is it? It's just some poor woman's been killed by a man.
Would you eat a human being?
No.
Not even if your life depended on it?
If I was actually going to die, yes, probably.
Like that film Alive.
I think it's easy. I think anyone who says no, I think it's one of those things that the survival instinct is so strong. I think when you're in the situation, no matter what seems abhorrent to you now, when your life is literally at stake, I think people would actually surprise themselves and do anything.
Yeah, I agree with that. Did you ever see that German program? I didn't see the program, but there was a German program where the host ate somebody else's, like he performed cannibalism on the telly. So he agreed to have a piece of him cut out or something, and so did the other fella, and then they cooked and ate.
Are you sure this was a TV program?
Yeah, it was.
I remember the story.
No, it genuinely was. I think someone got arrested.
I feel they would, because it's not legal. So I feel like it wasn't a TV program.
It was. Anyway, you can read story 4. It's the one that starts at the bottom there.
Okay.
Odessa.
How do we know a story about the name Odessa?
We don't. It's that was what was going to be the name of a recently born child that we both know.
Oh, that was it. So the dad. So this guy's wife was pregnant. One of our friends.
Yeah.
This guy's wife was pregnant, and she hadn't yet told a lot of people. Like, just a mum knew.
Yeah.
Or whatever. They hadn't told everyone yet. And he had a dream that they named the baby Odessa.
Yeah.
Didn't he? And then he woke up like in the middle of the night and couldn't get back to sleep and put the TV on. And there was this film on. I forget what the film was. But as the film finished, the credits rolled up and the main character had been called Odessa. But he hadn't had it on when he was asleep, and we were like, okay, that's good. But that was funny because he started. Yeah, do you remember that? Like, because he started telling the story. It is one of our friends. He started telling the story, and then like quickly kind of. So he said like, "Oh, I was asleep the other night," and like just quickly kind of changed it and like went off on something. And his wife was like, "No, say it." And he was looking at her as if to say like, "Stop it, like start." And she was like, "No, so you had this dream where da-da-da-da." And she literally got to the point of saying, "And the baby," because they hadn't told anyone yet.
Oh, right.
And he looked at her, and she looked at him, and he just went, "How stupid are you?" And she went, and she literally didn't know what to do, and he just went, "She's pregnant." Right, that's it, she's pregnant. Like, there's no way out of this. We're just gonna. So we all knew like earlier than we were you not there that night?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it rings a bell.
Yeah, so we all knew a lot earlier than we were supposed to because
that's very funny.
Because of the story. So yeah, anyway, that's what it just makes me think of.
They didn't go with a Odessa in the end.
No, they didn't go with
because it was a boy. So
yeah, that's true.
They carry on.
So it'd be funny. We gave Sue and Pearl the shout out the other day.
Okay, yeah. And, they were like, "Hey."
Yeah, so funny. Yes, Sue's thinking, that sounds familiar.
Yes, little Pearl who they gave a shout out to, it's her little brother that we're talking about who's been born.
Yeah, it was her parents.
Yeah, anyway, crack on.
Odessa Carey, 36,
What?
Just bludgeoned, just going straight in with that.
Oh, right.
Odessa Carey, 36, bludgeoned her identically named mother with a mallet and cut off her head with scissors. Oh. She then visited a friend's allotment where she took the head out of a carrier bag and kissed it. The friend's reaction is not recorded. Brackets. The body of Odessa Carey Sr., 79, was found at her house in Ashington, Northumberland. Her head was found under the sink at another house where her daughter was hiding in the loft. She was found unfit to stand trial. Dear me.
Do you think she was unfit to stand trial? Bloody hell. And that's UK. Northumberland's UK.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know what? Isn't it mad? Because all these things happen, but they don't make the news.
These are all taken from newspapers.
Oh. Well, what newspaper's that taken from?
Ah, no.
What?
It's taken from the
one that shall not be made.
Yeah. No. Well, shame on 14 Times for...
I know. I'll have to send them a letter and say, "Listen, can you please stop
You should.
using that newspaper?"
Yeah, exactly. We don't like it.
Well...
do you want the next one?
Oh, yeah, if you're on a roll, yeah, go on.
That's alright. Do you want me to pick the best one out of it?
No, not the best one, because I'm reading them all.
Okay.
Good way to poo-poo the rest of the show.
What do you mean?
Or do you want me to read the best one?
Well, no, I was just going to say, do you want me to choose out of the remaining ones?
No, just do it in order.
Because you went well, I thought you were winding up.
Well, no.
Okay. In late 2019, engineer Adam Ashby...
When?
Late 2019.
Is that what you said? I'm going to have to listen back to this. It's not like you went, in late 2019.
I'm fairly sure I said in late 2019.
No, I'm pretty sure you said 2010.
Maybe I said 2010. I definitely said 2019.
Go on. Say it properly this time.
In late 2019.
2010. Go on.
Engineer Adam Ashby, 31, fell to his death from a washing line pole while trying to entertain friends and relatives. Oh dear, this is why women live longer than men. He had climbed up the 10-foot pole but lost his balance and fell onto the concrete patio head first.
Oh.
Among the family gathering was his fiancée, Abby Williams, 27. The couple were due to get married in January. He fell right in front of me, my friends and my family, Ms. Williams told the coroner. He was just trying to make people laugh. A verdict of accidental death was recorded. Oh, dear.
Jeepers.
Oh, dear. So he was trying to climb. He climbed up a 10-foot washing line pole.
How many washing line poles? 10 foot?
I don't know.
It's 10 foot
just
tall.
for a laugh, and then, fell down. Dear me, that's
landed on his head, though.
I know. That's what it sounds like. It's in front of her family as well, because she said in front of me, my friends, and my family. Imagine if it's his in front of all his family.
I don't think that's relevant here.
I think it would be. I think it would be
kind of like
horrifying for his mother to witness that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it's kind of like saying, imagine, like it's like me saying, I've climbed up a 10-foot thing, jumped off, and landed on my head in front of you, your mum and Mark. And then you go, oh, imagine him doing it in front of his own family then.
Yeah, but that would be less horrifying than me and all your family, wouldn't it?
Why? It's the same thing, isn't it?
Well, not quite, because your dad would see you then die.
No, you said you and all your family. I thought you meant you doing it in front of my family.
No. What I'm saying is, so they were with her family. So the couple were with her family, and he died. What I'm saying is, at least it wasn't him and her were with his family when he died. Otherwise, his mum, his dad would have literally seen him fall to his death.
Yeah, but I mean, you're hardly going to offer that as form of, oh, well, could have been worse, are you?
Well, I just did.
I mean, it could be worse, John. You could have been there. Yeah.
No, but I mean, it's harrowing enough, isn't it?
Silver
it
lining,
being-
John.
At least it wasn't his immediate family who saw it. Like, all of his family just seeing it would have been awful.
Sorry about Jeff there, but
That said, if you
At
were
least
going to
you had
die,
the
I'd
match
much rather
on.
be there.
Would you rather be there when I die?
Yeah, of course.
Well, you will be in the same car, I suppose.
Honestly, you need to stop it with these murder jokes.
I'm not going to kill you. I'm not intentionally going to kill you.
At least the podcasts are all live now, so I don't even have to say to anyone if something happens to me, check the podcast because it's already out there. People already know.
Oh, really? You know what? I said I'll never intentionally kill you. I know most people want to hear
That's
I'll
not
never
good
kill you,
enough,
but I can't. No one can guarantee that.
That's not good enough.
Well, what if I'm carrying something? Let's say if I'm carrying a bag of potatoes, and just out of the car, all normal, the bag of potatoes split, a potato goes rolling ahead of me. I go to chase it. I slip on the potato fires back off my foot at 80 mile an hour and bonks you right in the middle of the eyes, and you die of a strange hemorrhage.
Why would you think you're so strong as to kick a potato at 80 miles an hour?
They don't call me Shooty McBootfoot for nothing. Foot. Shooty McBuckfuck. Can't speak. Shooty McBuckfoot. Is that right?
No, Buckfoot.
Shooty
No, of course
McBuck.
not,
Why
unless
not
it
McBuck?
reads.
What is McBuck? Anyway,
Right.
give us another. Give us another.
Give us another. A man shot 5 people dead for talking too loudly outside his house.
Is right. I'm all
I
right
think
with
we
that.
can all empathise with that, although it's obviously wrong. The shooting occurred in the village of Yalatma in the Ryazan region, about 200 kilometres southeast of Moscow. Due to the coronavirus pandemic, the area was under lockdown. An argument broke out after the man complained to the 4 men and 1 woman from his balcony, after which, at around 10 p.m, he started shooting at them with a hunting rifle. All 5 died of their injuries at the scene.
I'm not
Bloody
actually all right
hell.
with that. That's
He must have had one hell of a shot.
yeah, he really
Because
must
all
have, yeah.
5 of them as well, like...
They'd be running, wouldn't they?
If by the sounds of it, if they were on their balcony or even just outside, in fact, yeah, no, he must be one hell of a shot.
Yeah, because
if
they're not
they're
gonna
in the
stand there.
street and exactly, he's shot 1 of them. The other 4 run, and he's still
got them all.
managed to.
Because there's no way they
move
just
his
stood there.
targets.
It's not like they went,
Yeah,
"Pow,"
obviously,
and
yeah.
he said, "Hey, that was Mary. Mary was doing no harm." Pow.
Yeah,
Hey,
of
that
course
was
they'll
Jeff. I'm
bleed,
stood
like,
here.
instantly, won't he? Jesus, yeah.
Wow.
What a shot. 2 sisters in different countries both died from brain hemorrhages within 24 hours of each other.
That's interesting.
Amanda Williams, 54, collapsed as she prepared to travel from her Leicester home to Ingolstadt, Germany, to be with her sister Jacqueline, 57, who was gravely ill with a bleed on the brain. An ambulance took Amanda to hospital, but she died there on the 7th of September, a day after her sister had passed away in Germany. The family held a joint funeral for the pair in Leicester.
That's interesting. Were they twins, did you say?
No, sisters, 3 years apart.
Well, do you know what? Do you know my nan and granddad used to live in Devon Way? They don't know more, so I can say the address. Anyway, at the end of their road is a road called Wallace Avenue, right?
Yeah.
Wallace Avenue once featured in the Strange Deaths part of 14 Times. Do you know why? Because there was a couple who lived in that road who had been together since the Second World War. They both got married at 18, and they died within 10 minutes of each other.
Oh.
Different locations. Like he was in hospital or something.
Oh, really?
And yeah, he died, and 10 minutes later she died.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was, I think the title was of the thing in there was something like Broken Heart or something.
Well, it wasn't if she didn't know about it, was it?
No, it's an excellent point. I've got it wrong a bit, but he definitely was in there.
Last one. By late March, nearly 300 people had died and more than 1,000 made ill across Iran after drinking methanol, believing it could cure coronavirus. Drinking alcohol, of course, is banned in the Islamic Republic, and those who do have to rely on bootleggers.
Oh, well.
Dear me. Methanol?
So there you go. That's the perils of alcohol for you.
Well, methanol.
Well, look at you, just dunks like alcohol off. I love me some alcohol. Yum, yum, yum. That's you.
Well, it is a bit different.
Well, yeah, I mean, just because I haven't drank for 6 months doesn't mean that everyone who drinks it is evil.
I know.
Far from it.
I know.
I think I'm going to get back on it soon in a big way.
Oh, that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, I don't know
Why?
when. I don't know, I just got this feeling.
What,
that
you mean
will-
like just once or like in general?
In general, like vodka for breakfast, sort of
Right,
thing.
okay, good.
I've had enough of a penitence from it, haven't I?
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I don't
maybe the
know.
word.
What do you mean? You're saying have I? I don't know.
Well, yeah.
You still seem quite off it.
No, that's what I mean. I've had enough like time away from it.
But I don't know if you've had enough. Like,
What?
like if you're saying I've had enough, I'm sick of it, aren't I? I don't know. You still seem.
Well, no,
quite...
I'm not sick of not drinking. What I mean is, though, I think I've tangibly had enough time off the alcohol.
Oh right, yeah.
So I need to get back on it.
You don't need to.
Like
but
a
you can if
carb
you
on
want
it.
to. You don't need to, but you can if you want to. My opinion of your drinking is very much do what you want.
It's like Alistair Crowley's view on life.
Yeah.
Do what thou will.
Yeah.
Okay, Becca, well, thank you for joining me with the strange deaths scenarios here.
You're welcome.
You, of course, need to stick around because we're going to add a little Patreon extra too.
Patreon.
That's them. If you'd like to sign up to our Patreon where you can hear whatever we're going to talk about next, we haven't decided yet, then you can go to patreon.com/we need to talk about ghosts. In the meantime and in between time, we could talk about your new leggings, couldn't we?
Yeah.
That
if you want, I'm sure. Yeah, that'll attract patrons.
But what were you said yesterday? I mean, the jeggings is what they are.
Not the leggings.
The jean type leggings, but you don't like the word jeggings, do you?
No.
You think it's common, don't you?
No, not common. I just don't like it.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, guys, so if you want to hear about that and more interesting things, of course, go over to Patreon. In the meantime, we shall see you on the weekend for our standard episode. Yes, and when I say standard, it's anything but standard, really, because it's jolly scary. But we hope you're all taking care of yourselves and each other. And, we'll speak to you then. Don't forget, if you've got a story that you want us to read out, send it to contact@talkaboutghosts.com. And come the standard episodes, or indeed, if it's pant-wettingly scary enough, a dark episode, yes, then email us and let us know. Okay, thanks, guys. Speak to you soon. Yup, for real, yup. Okay, tatty bye.